A new study has revealed a lot about the American workforce and jobs in our community. The Emerging Workforce Study by Spherion annually examines the issues and trends impacting our American workplaces. It is the only national representative survey of both employers and employees. Here to break it down for us, we have Glenna Gates. She's the owner of Spherion right here in town. Welcome, Glenna. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
This is something that you guys do every year, is that right?
Every single year, the Emerging Workforce Study is done, and over the span of the 22 years that we've been doing this thing, we have interviewed literally thousands of employees, active employees, and literally hundreds of companies and hiring managers to help identify the trends in the workplace. Things change as technologies advance, ways of communicating advances, things people want from a job and want from their lives. These things change over time, so this helps us to identify those changes and hopefully not only keep our finger on the pulse of it, but to get ahead of it.
Yes, so the Emerging Workforce Study, I mean, this really is just such an insight into the American workforce.
Absolutely. 200,000 workers over the past 22 years have been surveyed.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a big number.
Yes. And you've been in this business how long?
13 years.
So what have you seen change?
I think that the expectations, especially here in the Valley, the expectations of employment have changed. And just to tell you a brief story, when I first came here, I was hiring people for a call center in Visalia. And I asked them, what are your career aspirations? And almost to a person, they answered, I want to work inside. Well, that means that their experience and their family's experience was more agricultural type of work. Today, expectations are very, very different. For one thing, Fresno County is at a record low unemployment at, I believe the number reported is 6.4% on a statewide of California of about 3.5. That's huge. That means that workers have the ability to select what they want, to match up their own belief systems with the corporate culture and climate of an organization, and to more effectively pick and choose whatever they want.
That's so interesting. Yes, that did come just out about the unemployment rates being so low. Tell me this, what else did you find was most important from this study?
Well, three of the biggest trends that were identified for us is, and I don't think this is any surprise, the labor market's very, very tight. And underpinning that, turnover is at record highs. And I'll give you my personal observation. Everybody is on the market everywhere. And the survey indicated that as well. 29% of people surveyed across the nation, by the way, say that they actively plan to change jobs within the 12 months, the next 12 months. And I'm going to check a number on this, and among that number, in the millennial group, it's much, much higher, like 38% plan to change jobs in the next 12 months. In my generation, that would never have happened.
Oh, people
and even
worked
just
at
10
some
years
places
ago,
50 years.
They'd work there forever. So these things are literally changing. They expect to manage their careers, and you know, I think that that's interesting. Another thing that emerged, and it's been coming out for the last couple of years, is that there are some disconnects between what the employer believes is important and what the employee believes are important. So the employer lists, and this is off the top of my head, things like benefits. High up on the list would be the relationship with the supervisor, and maybe lower down on the list might be salary. From the employee's point of view, the salary is number one, and wages will continue to tighten up in the market. And then way down the list is the relationship with the supervisor. High on the list is the alignment with a corporate culture, the ability to be flexible with their work-life balance, and the ability to identify with the things that are important to the business and to just believe. All of those things really speak to how important the concept of employee engagement might be. And that is that I believe in what this business does. I may very likely, and I would love to, by the way, identify with the things in the community that business might do for the community, because I want to believe in those things as well. And that engagement percentage, that feeling of engagement, will contribute to my staying longer with that business.
Yes. Tell me what your business does, because we keep talking about jobs. If there are folks out there who are looking for jobs, you help them out.
Oh, absolutely. My job is to find people jobs. So I match talent in the area up with available opportunities in the area as well, and we do that two ways. I either have job orders, and we love job orders, right? And we fill them with people who have the right skills and fit and, you know, mental alignment with the mission of the company, or else I market those candidates out to where I think that they might fit. I might not have a job order.
Right.
And I always have open jobs. I
Yes,
love
yes,
talking about
yes.
open jobs. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's so important because you really do have your thumb on this market. So with the study and all the findings, what's your advice to employers?
I would say that employers really need to focus on the items that will help retain their employees. It is expensive to find them. Great time to be in the staffing business because we're looking for people all the time, but really expensive to find somebody. It costs a fortune to get someone trained to do the work. And then finally, you develop a relationship and a feeling about, well, a family member. Again, a very brief story. I got just the other day, and if she's watching, she's gonna say, "I can't believe you told the story." Someone who'd been with us for several years chose to take another job with an organization that aligned very well with her belief set and something that was a passion of hers. And I told her it was really hard to leave us. Well, she ended up not going, and she came back to us. And the reason she said she came back is that she's very excited about the things that we do. We get to help people in our business, and those were the hooks that kept her there, was her belief.
Right.
The second thing I would tell employers is don't make any assumptions that you know what's going to make your employees stay. Salary is very high on the list. All of the perks about flexibility very high on the list, and that relationship is high on the list. So when I say that, ask them. I work with a couple of businesses in the area who do an outstanding job of mining the feedback from their employees and making change in their business towards the positive to keep their employees aligned and retained. And those things are just essential.
Well, especially knowing because of this study that folks think they're going to change jobs in 12 months. A lot of the millennials. I mean, that should be a really big red flag for employers, and that perhaps they need to make some changes.
It absolutely is.
Wow. And your advice real fast for employees?
For employees, market your skills very carefully. Be able to back up the skills that you say you have with real verifiable results, and stay active on that job market. Work with prospective employers in an upfront manner. We know that you're on the market, right? And we know that you're applying out to a number of different jobs. So when you make a commitment to us, keep the commitment, please. Because I want to work with you. I'm going to invest my time in you, and you're going to invest your time in me.
Respect people's time.
Exactly.
And definitely their experience. Well, thank you, Glenna. Of course, everybody, you can find her at Saffiron Staffing, and we always appreciate your expertise.
Thanks.
Thanks, Glenna. And stay with us, everybody. We're back right after this.